Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Mommy Guide Inc. For those who are new to the channel, I am Mommy Lala, and welcome to Stash-tember. And oh my goodness, somebody popped up in the chat, and I'm super excited. Guys, Lori, this is my dear friend Marcus in the chat. How are you, my friend? We miss you. I've been missing you. Thank you so much, Marcus, for dropping by. 46 months of membership, and more than that, he has been a very good friend of mine, and I've met him through, of course, content creation. Thank you so much, Marcus, and hi, Lori. So yes, okay, so we're doing Stash-tember this September. And for those who are coming in and do not know what is Stash-tember, Stash-tember is actually inspired by what has happened to me as we were going through Craft Every Day in August. I realized that I just had so many things. About more than 80% of what I have, actually, I have not used, right? So as we fondly say, there are two hobbies actually included in crafting. So the shopping side of it and the crafting or the making side of it. So kidding aside, I realized that I needed to do an intentional thing so that I could smash those things that I have not used. And what a perfect way to do so. So instead of September, where most of the time we come up with, or this is the perfect time for you to start, building your stash, because it's during the month of September where a lot of our manufacturers in our community come up with new products, as well as our friend artists and crafters, right? So if you are into that, absolutely, please do support, our community, because that's what will keep the community vibrant and alive. But if you're somebody like me who just wants to, focus on trying to catch up with the many things we have not used yet, then please do join us for Stash-tember. Right? Say yes, we miss you too, my friend. For those who don't know, Marcus was very instrumental in why I am here, my friends. The first time I did my live streaming, okay, hold on. Crafters need a lot of say. Indeed, right? So if you want to check out, some of the videos that Marcus had done, he is not a crafter, but every time that he would visit, I will make him craft. And that would be such a great, thing to watch. Normally, every December, I have Marcus here. So anyways, to make a long story short, if he had not been there to support me, I would have just quit. I would not be here right now, and we will not be crafting alongside each other. So I will forever be grateful to my dear friend Marcus. Yes, he is also a content creator, right? So he started out as his channel onto tech and providing inspiration for content creators. And then lately, he has pivoted onto health and wellness, again for creators as well. So if you want to check that out, please do so. Marcus Schaub. Okay, our dear friend. Of course, we have Caroline. Good morning. Oh my goodness, my friends. You should check out Caroline's latest video. They have this swap. Okay, and the theme is somehow Halloween theme. She created this amazing bag charm. It's just so gorgeous. I said, I want to be her swap mate. It was so gorgeous. Don't take my word for it. Check it out. All right. And hi, Laurie. Okay, I know that Caroline and Marcus met last year for Creator Camp. And I'm sure that you guys would also meet again. Hopefully, you'll be part of the same group this time. All right. And we have Denise. Hi, Denise. Bone Tired Travelers is here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you guys, wherever you are in the world. Okay, so for today's prompt, what are we doing? So for today, it's a very chill kind of day because our prompt is just simply use any of your stamps that you have not yet used. But you cannot use any kind of cutting dies for today, right? Everything else is okay, except that no cutting dies, right? And I have, we have been being, very much inspired by some of our dear friends like Wims and Zell, okay, who has been doing a lot of, okay, I'm going to show you. This is our Discord server, right? So if you are not yet on Discord, I will later give away 5 memberships for free so that you could have access to this. This is the best place for you to submit and showcase your work. Just head on to Mommy Guides, the link I'll send you, and then go on to this one that says Stash-tember 2025. And when you click on that one, okay, so there is like a plus button at the end, okay, and then you will just click on that, okay, and then you can attach or upload the photo of whatever it is you want to submit. All right, so since Wims and Zell have been submitting stuff that are somehow, kind of mixed media theme, so I realized that, okay, maybe this is the perfect opportunity, all right, to actually do something like smash some of my, stamps for mixed media purposes. All right. So this is a very cute one. Remember that time where I think we were supposed to smash like Christmas theme, and I forgot what is the other one, right? So these were all from Wims. Okay. So if you could see, what happened? All right, so there you go. So she has been using her stamps and mixing it up with a lot of mixed media techniques. And so I said, okay, might as well, try to do that. That is day 3, neglected backgrounds, right? So this is another one. Okay, remember that flamingo thing episode we had, right? So they have been working on, a lot of mixed media backgrounds. So I said, okay, so might as well kind of do that. Okay, so for today. All right, so that is basically what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be working with, some of my, mixed media stamps that, stamps that can be used for mixed media because of, our art journals, because of the way that they look. Okay, just like what we have been doing the past couple of days, you guys decide for me. All right. Okay. And Caroline said, that's perfect for you. You're the master of fussy cutting. Right? So you just have to, do anything except, a cutting die. All right. So for today, my friends, I have, look at that. It's a wide stamp and absolutely it has never been used. And it's have been with me for a long, long while. All right. So you tell me which one you want me to work with today. All right. So we can choose 3 because normally I do at least 2 to 3 cards every episode, right? So this is the first one. Okay, come on, card, focus. Okay, this is by Carabel Studio. Okay, this is another one. Look at that. So pristine. I'm actually afraid to use it because it's so white. Okay, this is from 49th and Market. It's a very small stamp, but it's very expensive. Right, and this is from Tim Holtz, a very small one, like a background stamp. This is from Bo Bunny. All right. This is from Ranger from Dilutions. Okay, Dilutions. Okay. All right. And then these are, just stencils that I will be using for later. And this is what I did. One of the advent calendars I did last year. Okay. And this was from Art by Marlin. Okay. So that's what I'm going to use on top of all of these stamps. Okay. So let's go back to the stamps. And you guys tell me which one you want me to use for today. Is it this one? This one is from Dilutions. This one's a Bo Bunny one. This one's from Tim Holtz. There's even a price. That's in pesos, my friends. That's not dollars. All right, that's 49th and Market. This is from Carabella. or Carabel Studio, and this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so choose three, my friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, Marcus said, I vote for the second one. Oh, nice choice, Marcus. Scary. But okay. All right, I'll challenge myself. Okay, so this is one. Two more friends. Okay, so again, this one. This one's left. This small one. This one. And this one. Okay, so two more, my friends. Two more. Okay, so tell me. All right. So I like the lines. Okay, Lori, the first one. This one. 1, 3, and 6. 1, this is 3. And 3, 4, 5. Oh, you like this one. This? All right. Okay, so I will. Okay, so let's see. You guys more or less chose 4. Okay, we can mix and match. Right? So, okay, let's work with this. Thank you, my friends. All right, so that's why at least you lessen the burden of the decision making for me. All right. Oh, 6. What was the 6? Gosh, this was it. You know what? Okay, fine. I will use all. Okay. Let's just use them all. No worries. All right. Okay, because since, everything will be just so that I could actually smash more of my stash, right? So there you go. And since what I plan to do today are mostly, or not mostly, but everything will be mixed media. Okay, just a disclaimer, I am not in any way, form, or shape a mixed media artist. Okay, I can, every now and then double onto it, but not an expert. So if you're expecting somebody who's an expert on this, sorry, yours truly is not. But before we do that, okay, I forgot. Okay, let's just add a little bit of, okay, this is shea butter because, okay, I forgot that, my hands are quite dry, right? So it doesn't look so bad when you see it, okay? All right, there you go. Let's just use everything. Exactly, Marcus, right? And we have Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Yes, Stacy is Create and Relate, my friends. We have met her a few episodes ago, right? So let me just check, okay? First and foremost, okay, before we start, let me try how to do this because I actually do not know how. Okay, so I will go to my YouTube channel and try to give away some memberships, free memberships, so that you can have access to my Discord. Okay, hold on. All right, and then I will just mute. Okay, and then I will. Okay, I have to know. I forgot how to do this, so let's see if I can. How do I do it? There should be like a plus button here somewhere. Okay, maybe here. Okay, can I do that? Why is it asking me to join? No, I want to give out membership. You know what? Maybe I should ask. I will have to ask. There, membership gifting. Okay, there you go. Membership gifting. Okay, but how do I do this? Okay. Okay, but there should be a way. Okay, you know what? I'll probably do that tomorrow because I cannot figure out how to do it. How to give you the free memberships, but there is, so I'll be giving 10. Okay, 5 tomorrow and 5 on Sunday. All right, because I want to give you an opportunity to join me on Discord, because on Discord I actually uploaded just today, okay, because I want to create backgrounds that are based on distress combinations of different distress oxide colors. And I did give you in the Discord, uploaded a file where you can check out this one. Let's say, for example, if you want to have like a nature feel, so these are the 3 colors from oxides that you can, combine. But if you want soft pastel, sunset, and so on and so forth, this is, you can check this out. You can download it for free on my Discord. Okay. And then this one, it's a complete distress oxide master swatch chart that I created. So for example, you have blues and teals, you have greens. So what we want, if you have yellows and oranges, what can you create, right? If you want, let's say, a golden vintage, autumn fire, something like that. Again, just an inspiration for you to use, right? So, hi, Barbara. Good morning. And we have Amelia as well in the chat. Hello, my dear friend. Thank you so much for dropping by. Hi, Barbara. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Okay, so let's start with that. So, we will first start with creating our background. Okay. So, yes, we will use all of the stamps, right? Because you guys wanted a different stamp altogether. All right, so it's okay. No worries. So since we're going to be doing a little bit of mixed media, I am going to be working with some watercolor papers and of course, watercolor safe stamps or inks. Not stamps, but ink pads. All right, so there you go. So I have several there. Okay, so let's go grab a sticky mat. Okay, so a sticky mat is for me the easiest thing to use for now, so that I don't need to put like adhesive on the sides, because it will, just a little bit tacky. So it's gonna adhere too much, but at the same time, it will have that stickiness, so I can easily color in with what I'm just getting my what do you call this, my brushes. All right, so okay, let's see what would be our first one. Okay, so let's have something that's bright and playful. All right, how about a rainbow burst? Okay, let's do the rainbow burst combination. Okay, so let's go get it. It says wilted violet, pick raspberry, spiced marmalade. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so those are actually, okay, all right, distress oxide colors. Okay, so wilted violet, spiced marmalade, okay, picked raspberry, so that's it, this one. Okay, and then we have wilted violet. Okay, spiced marmalade is this one, and pick raspberry, check. Okay, and then we have wilted violet and peacock feathers. All right. Okay, not this one. Okay, abandoned coral. Okay, not that one. Okay, carved pumpkin, no. Fossilized amber, no. There, we have the wilted violet. Okay, so we just need the mustard seed and peacock feathers. All right, so let's go to another set. Okay. Okay, so we're looking for, mustard seed. Found it. Okay, so the last one is peacock feathers. Okay, and we found peacock feathers. All right, so we are working with, again, what are we working with? A bright or playful background, okay? Using our distress oxides as the medium. Okay, so again, let's look at that. All right, so you have your wilted violet. All right, and then we have your picked raspberry. Okay, we have your spiced marmalade. Okay, and then we have your mustard seed. And finally, your peacock feathers. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we'll do the bright and playful one. All right. So let's start with the wilted violet. Okay. Okay, we will try to hopefully, start. Okay. Okay, and if you want, okay, then later we will spritz it, okay, with water. Okay. Okay, so, and then we will do picked raspberry next. Okay. To start just putting it in our, backgrounds. Okay, and then normally you would go back, okay, to it to make the transition a little bit better. Okay, and then we will move on to, okay, our spiced marmalade. Okay, that's the one, spiced marmalade. All right. Okay, let's put it on the other side. Okay, how about you guys? What is like your favorite, combination? All right, there you go. Okay, and then we will do mustard seed next. Yes, my dear friend, Stacy is craft and relate, and she found us a few episodes ago in the chat, right? And I have met her as well in our other friends' live streams, like in Debbie J's. Where else did I meet Stacy lately? Oh, I met her. I found her also in Dawn when Dawn did her like random episode the other day, right? Because Dawn showcased the, what do you call that class that there's like so many awesome products that came with the kit and with the class. It was like, if it's open, I would have definitely wanted to be part of it, right? So this is the color combination we're working with, right? So it's so fun, right? So it is a combination of all of this, kind of very playful, like colors. All right, and then the wilted one over here. Let's do a little bit more of the pickled raspberry. But somehow I feel that it kind of got lost in translation over here, right? And then let's add a little bit of spiced marmalade onto that mix over there. And I think our mustard seed is getting lost as well. So let's add a little bit of that. Okay, and then, okay, this one. Okay. That is super cute, right? All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna like do, what do you call this? What is this color? This is peacock feathers. So let us like go around, okay, on the whole, pad. Okay, so the sides somehow will all have, the peacock feathers feel to it. Okay. So there you go. Now that we have our, background. Okay, so we can put our oxides away. Okay, and then what do you do next? Okay, so what you do next, my friend? Okay, you clean first your sticky mat so that when we use it in a little while, Okay, so it would be easy to create new color combinations as we have, we do clean as you go. The things that you see, oh, those are already stains, right? Because really some inks stain. A pail of water. Yeah, so my moderator daughter is asking, what do you need? Because I will be doing mixed media. So I do need, a pail of water for later because I will be using some texture paste. And those, when you use it with your stencils, you need to make sure that you have a pail of water, okay, so that you can easily, if you don't have like a sink beside you, so you can easily clean it up, okay? So I am trying to be very intentional with where I put my stuff. Because as you know, it's like, where is my scissors? Where is my brush? So I am trying to, as I clean, okay, I really need to be very intentional, right? And of course, we have Zell in the house. Yes, my inspiration, Zell and Wims for tonight, right? So that box shop was amazing. Exactly, right? I know it's sponsored by a magazine. I think they're the only crafty magazine that's left. And they talk to basically almost all our favorite, manufacturers, and came up with a box full of different kits. And the instructors are super awesome. I think it's a 3 to 4 day. Before it used to be 4 days, now 3 days, class. And it was like, wow. And then the nice thing about that is you actually even have an option to pay it off slowly because it's kind of expensive. But I understand why, because the thing that you get from there, oh my goodness, my friend, it was like, wow, an hour or so into it, she was still unboxing, right? That was super awesome. If you missed that, check it out on Dawn, okay? My Crafty Visage channel. All right, so that's the first thing we did, okay, for our, first card. Okay, so let's put back our sticky mat. Okay, I just realized I actually still need it. Okay, so what do we do next? Okay, so the next thing we do, okay, is we do want to, if you want, okay, so since these are oxides, so they can actually be water reactive. Okay, so if you do want a little bit of, subtle texture onto it, if you could see, right? So there's that kind of a splatter of white, right, onto it because I spritzed it with. You look at my spritzer, my friends. It's so old. It has yellowed already, right? But it's fine because it's still okay, right? So if you can see, okay, so if you want more, see, that's what the effect is. This is water reactive, right? Okay, so if you want to have more of that, go ahead. Okay, so on top of that, okay, the next thing I want to do is, okay, to put a little bit of, texture onto this one before we finally, okay, before we do this one, okay, so let's do our stamping first. Okay, so for this one, since it's kind of, what do you call that? Happy, joyful, right? So it's a kind of a, what do you call this? Rainbow kind of burst kind of thing. So I feel like maybe this stamp, okay, I think this is one of Lori chose this one. We could actually use this one, all right, to stamp in, okay, this one, okay. And since this is, a mixed media kind of feel, so normally you don't need to, okay, if you want, you don't need to put, or use a, what do you call this, a stamping block. But in my case, it's okay because so with mixed media, normally you don't go really for perfection, right? So you can do that, you can do this, right? So it's absolutely up to you, right? Let me just see which one I want to use for this one. Okay, so probably I would see. This has never been used. All right, so I probably would get a lot of. All right, so we could do a little bit of that and that. Okay, so and then add a little bit of maybe do that and that. This. Let's see how we're, we're gonna make this really whimsical. Okay, so I'm just pulling out all the stamps from this stamp set and see which one we actually want to use, right? Okay, so you have that, that, that. All right, so you also have this one. Okay, the pail. And then you put the pail of water over there na lang, baby. Over there lang. So don't put the water beside me because I might accident. I'm sure I can actually kick that. Okay. All right. So maybe this is the only one I'm not going to use for this card. Okay. So we're just going to try and use up all this stamp just because I can. Right? We can. Okay. There is no right or wrong way to do this, my friends. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out, okay, how we are gonna work with this, or do I want it to be like something like that? Okay, and this one could go over there. So, okay, and then this one can go onto the sides like so. So different kinds of borders, and this way I will just. Okay, I think that's it. All right, so let's go with that plan. My very, very weird plan. Okay. So now, since we're doing a little bit of mixed media stuff, so pigment inks. All right. So pigment inks are the inks to go, which is, I'm trying to find out where they are. Okay. Here you go. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to be using a VersaFine, okay? Okay, and then I'm not going to be using, I don't want any perfection anyway for my work today because this is really mixed media. All right, so, and it's going to be very whimsical. This stamp set is actually very whimsical. Okay, look at my camera going bonkers, all right? So let's just grab and remove all of my stamps first. This is it, Pansit. All right, and we will stamp. All right. Ta-da! There you go. And we will just remove, okay, whatever, okay, that got inked onto my, okay. So that's the first one. Okay, and then let's just, immediately, okay, you don't even need to use, a stamping block. Okay, since this is really more of, with mixed media techniques. That's why I think Wims and Zell in the chat love this kind of technique, is because, you can, fly with your creativity, so to speak. But for somebody who is, not very talented when it comes to this kinds of things, because my brain is it's like very, very logical. Okay, so you tell me everything still has to have like this one goes here, this one goes there. But our friends would always tell me, no, Lala, it's okay, just go with the flow. It's like, how do you go with the flow, right? So, okay. So I'm trying my best, okay, not to be too OC, right? Too methodical, so to speak, and just really go with the flow. All right. So again, I am in disclaimer, I'm not a mixed media artist, but learning is something that I love to do. All right. And so I clean it immediately, like so. Right. So that, okay, it's not, okay, kind of too messy. Right. So, all right. And then this one, okay. All right, there you go. So this is dilution Diane Reevely? Or is it, gosh, I forgot. Where is the, packaging for this one. I think I kind of lost it, friends. So there you go. All right. Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. It's rocking. Don't do that. All right. So there you go. Okay. Normally they would say, do not rock your stamps. But these are very, very tiny, tiny, narrow stamps. So, and then I place it in the side instead of the middle. So I kind of rock like so. And then we'll do the other kind of, like border stamp. Okay. So let's ink that. All right, so no rhyme or reason. Although when you look at mixed media artists, it looks as if there's no plan at all. But when they finish, it's like, whoa! How did they do that? That is awesome, marvelous, right? I don't know. I also don't know, my friends. But one thing I know is that it is beautiful. Okay, so there you go. All right, so far, so good. Okay. But why is it the middle is so clean, Lala? Okay. It's like, okay, I will have to, still I need to have a little bit of, kind of a, what do you call this? Direction, so to speak, right? So I still want it to, have a little bit of a reason why it looks something like that. All right. So, and then I'm just putting it back. So you see, as I clean as you go, so that you can immediately put it back. Because knowing me, it's like, where did I put that? Where did I put this? Right? So I am like all over the place, right? And then this one, right? So this is this one, that whimsical kind of hat. So what do I do with that? Okay, I feel that it's way too much already, so I think I won't be using this, okay, for now. Okay, that would probably, I'll save up for my focal point. All right, so that is this one. Okay, where is, okay, so this is from, okay, there you go. Okay, oh, it's not Diane Levy, it's Diane Wakely. Right, Diane Wakely. All right, so this is her, okay, stamp set. Okay, oh, it has a stencil to boot. All right, so maybe what we can do with that, my friends, is, since remember I I inked the back with distress oxides, right? So what I can do is to grab, a wet tissue. Okay, and then I will dab the stencil that I will put on top of it so that it will pull out some of the colors, and you will have that subtle look of, the flower, the hearts, okay, at the back. Okay, so let's see if it's gonna work. Okay, I hope it does. All right, let's see. Okay, at the back of my mind, I hope it works. Okay, but if not, at least I tried. I kind of tried. All right, let's see. Okay, if not, I will redo it and use a... All right, let me see. Oh, it's not very evident. Okay, but let's try. Let us dry it. Okay, and see if we can see the subtle coloring of the hearts, okay, onto our paper. Okay, I actually do not see it. All right, I do, but it's very, very subtle. All right, so probably, okay, so what I'm gonna do is, second, if the first one didn't work, let's try another one. It did, but not to the point that I can really see, the awesomeness of it all. So, okay, let's just make sure that I clean the back of this one because it might stain. All right. So, okay, so let's do another one and see if this works. All right. It would be kind of fun if we see, a little bit of. All right. So let us use this Hero Arts, okay, pigment ink. Okay, that is white. All right. So let's see if it's gonna work. Onto, okay, our background. Okay, hopefully it does. All right. This is my favorite white ink. Okay, and let's see the grand reveal. Yay! It did work! Woohoo! Woot woot! All right, so awesome. Okay, and then I will just put this in my bucket of water. All right, there you go. I just placed it in my bucket of water so that I can clean that up better later. There you go, my friends. Ta-da! Yeah, like it, love it, and cleaning my hands a little bit, and then I'll go back to the chat. All right, there you go. Oh, that's so cool, right? So if it didn't work, don't give up. Try another one. As they say, it's only paper. So you see, when initially you stamp on it, it looks very, very opaque. But as it dries, it does give that like a watermark effect eventually, right? So let's just also heat the back so it doesn't, end up being, what do you call that? Like that. Not twisted, but warped. Right? So there you go. Let's just remove that one. Okay, and flatten our. Okay. So there you go, my friends. That is our first background. Right? Not yet a card, but at least, right? So we use the stamps. We use the background. Okay, so far, no dice yet, right? No dice. Okay, but before we continue, I'll just go back to the chat and check out what you guys are saying. Yvette just arrived. All right, so many people arrived. Hello, 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 friends. Oh, okay, would love to crack Friday, but Paz is so clingy. Paz, my friends, is Zell's eldest, okay? Want me to put him to bed. Hope I don't fall asleep with it. I feel you, Zell. As I told you many times over, when my kids were younger, every time I would put them to sleep, I am the one who actually goes to sleep first. Yes, thank you, Caroline. Have a great, great rest of the day. Oh my goodness, where did I actually end? All right, I think here. Okay, so Stacy is Craft and Relate said these colors are beautiful. I want to start dabbling in stamping and inks on my channel too. Absolutely, it is so much fun, right? And I hope that you don't end or start like me, who is so afraid of color, right? We do have a friend whose channel name is Not Afraid of Color, and that's Tracy. We finally call her T, right? So she has been one of the many like Wims and Zell who keeps encouraging me to just let go, relax, and go with it, right? So Queen Bee, hello, hello, my friend. Thanks so much for dropping by. Yes, I also always see Queen Bee we meet up in other crafters' channel. Beeping and unbeeping their car, so it woke me up. Oh no! But I'm so glad that you are here and that you have been able to drop by. Yes, so like a tie-dye effect, right? So that's what it's called. Yes, thank you so much, Queen Bee. Yes, all right. I forgot what Queen Bee's legacy's name is. Okay, my friend. Okay, new sub here to Queen Bee and Create. Thank you so much, Zell. Sprinkle with cards, my friends. Okay, is Zell. Waterfall, said Marcus. Is that an A2 card? Yes, it is. It is. Okay, that's why I bought a well, because I always knock my water over. Exactly, right? Okay, I do hope lingering headache goes away. Oh, who has a headache? All right. So I hope that it goes away soon. Yes, thank you. So yes, it's the weekend, right, Caroline? So have a great rest of the day, my friend. She has been here almost the whole week, all day long. Thank you, my friend. Yes, everybody saying hi and bye to Caroline. So we'll check out your channel later. Yes, Stacy, thank you so much. Zell is awesome. Sprinkle with Cards is on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, right? So do check her out. I think I have been a part of this channel for about a month. Yes. Yes, from Craft Every Day in August. Yes, Queen Bee, right? And of course, we have our dear friend Yvette, who is preparing for sure for Aquafit today, right? Oh, 7-year-old. Yeah, 7-year-old. That's her eldest, but she does have a baby, new baby, right? So that's why she has not been able to put up as much content as she was able to in the past because of, being pregnant and then giving birth. And of course, how how it is when you have a new baby in the house, right? So, but I'm happy that she is back. And hi, Crystal, my crafty BFF. I know that she's at this time always at work, but she does put us in the background. Thank you so much, Crystal. You can do it, Lola. I know it. Go with the flow. Thank you so much, Marcus. See, that's how Marcus is. He is like, every time I would want to give up, no, he would say, no, 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 go for it, Lala, right? And he's not just like that with me, with all of our friends. And we have friends from all over the world. And before we would like say, every time we go live, it's somehow like Marcus is always in the chat. So we would always, tell him, do you sleep ever, Marcus? Right? So Marcus, my dear friend, is from Switzerland, right? So there you go. So if you are from that side of the globe, right? So you have the same time zone. Oh, really now? I'm just, Diane. Yes, Diane Wakely, not Reevely. All right. Thank you, Marcus. Autocorrect has been sabotaged. Exactly the same thing with me, Queen Bee. Oh, you have both. You have both, right, Stacy? And we have Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Good morning, my friend. Yes, Vicky, my friend, is VJ Designs. And thank you so much for, supporting Vicky by always going and checking out her videos. She almost always have a video up almost every day, right? And as she recovers, she already has a new video, okay, from after surgery, right? And that is super awesome. You can check that out. I actually watched it, I think, this morning. Yes, there you go. Hi, Stacy. See, we remember everybody. Okay, I just forgot Queen Bee's name. Okay, there you go. Hello, Yvette and Jaden in the house. Good evening, Jaden. Okay, I represent Central California. Okay, so you're very near. Yvette is San Diego. So Central California is what part? Okay. So Queen Bee is from California. I heard from other friends that today it's kind of raining in California, or was it yesterday? Which is normally not the case. And yes, I know because I watched Stacy's channel. I was like binge watching her channel the other day, and I love her accent. Really, yes. There you go. All right, so let's go back to my first card, okay? So what do we do now, all right? So again, for those who are coming in, I did the background first, and then I stamped it with, the Diane Wakely stamp that I have never used, but probably I've had for more than a decade. I don't know why. And then I tried to dab the stencil that came with it with a wet tissue, but didn't work. It was too subtle for my for it to be seen. So I went ahead and grabbed, this Hero Arts Hero Use white pigment ink, which I said, it dries kind of like a watermark, so it is kind of, perfect. All right, so now let's put a little bit of texture onto this, right? So, or probably by adding, remember you guys said, okay, so you wanted this as well, right? So I said, that's why Marcus said, yes, use them all. Right, let's use them all. So again, perfect. All right, so never been used. Oh, okay. The thing with this, I can feel that, there's oil as I actually just glide my hands through it. So with this, normally you would want to prime it because when your stamps are kind of like this and you put ink, normally it won't ink as nice or as better as others. So normally I would do it like that, priming it. Okay, so let us, I think maybe this one. All right. Okay, so I will just, so normally I would use a bigger stamp pad for this. All right, so I would just ink a little bit of that. All right, and then just, stamp like so. Okay. And, stamp another on another part. Okay, maybe I don't want that one because I used that here. So let's use another part of, the stamp. Okay, maybe this part. All right. Okay, so you don't really want to stamp in like the whole thing. Okay, we just want to, add, some markings onto that. Right? So it just adds a little bit of, interest, so to speak. So, and then I will just clean it immediately. So that's the thing with mixed media. I learned that from, from Wims, from Zell, from Joe, from, Ray, Doc Ree. Okay, so they are the ones in our community here in the Philippines who are really on to like, mixed media and stuff. And I just, kind of learn from them. All right, so something like that over there and something over there. All right, so if you can see, it's kind of like that. Okay, so the next thing, so how many stamps did we use? We've already used 2, right? So we have already used 2. Okay, so we have used the Diane Wakely and this Bow Bunny stamp. All right, so let's just, before we do the next thing, all right, okay, so as you can see, my hands are getting to be really dirty. Okay, so let's just try to make sure that it is dry. All right, so when we do try to put a little bit of another technique, okay, I forgot to cover that. Okay, it had made a on my this one. It's okay. All right, next. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna put over here is going to be like my focal point for my art. Okay, so I did choose some papers here. Okay, that I feel earlier on might work with that. Okay, so this is Amazonia. So I was thinking maybe I would do him, make that, or probably this one. What do you think? Or that? Okay, let's try. And hold on, where is my right, so my scissors are over there. Let me try this. Okay, and check if it can go as my focal point, okay, for this card. Okay, let me see. Let me just check. Okay, so okay, it's too big. Okay, so of course I will have to I will still fuzzy cut it, right? So okay, and then this one. Okay. Right, so let's try him. Okay, so as I said, since I don't know what I'm gonna be using or what I'm gonna be working with, right? So, okay, I think he's okay. All right, so I will fuzzy cut this guy. What is this? What is he? Is he a sloth? I'm not sure. Okay, what animal is this one, my friends? Would you know? Okay, our hairy friend over here. Do you know what he is? Okay, the name of this collection, this is from, gosh, what is the name? Hold on. I know this is the Amazonia, from the Amazonia collection from Stamperia. From Stamperia, or I could actually do like maybe like the dresses. Okay. At any rate, let's see. Let's just first see, when you don't have any plans, okay, everything can go different directions. And so let's see where this one actually kind of take us. All right. So where is my card? Where did my card go? All right, there you go. There you go. All right. So, okay. So kind of like that. We can, okay, so that it is not like hanging from anywhere. It can have something like that. Right? So it is, yes. So you see that it's hanging okay over there like so. All right. And then let's just find ways to layer it with, right? So let me see what I can layer it with. Okay, so maybe we can layer it with, you know, some of this tinier stuff in this collection. Okay, that kind of somehow matches. All right, so let's try this one. All right. Okay. So the thing with this Stamperia is that whatever you have in front is at the back is the same, right? So oh, it is a sloth. All right, all right. So yes, let's have a little bit of a geography lesson. Okay, our evening classes just ended. Yes. I have never given my name at, oh, okay, got it. So, okay, Queen Bee it is. All right, so Yvette is in Southern California. Okay, so Central would be, okay, let me see. What did Queen Bee say Central would be? Okay, and Lori says hi to you, Sammy. Okay, so okay, so you have northern, central, and southern. Okay. Oh, so it is a sloth. Okay, so I'm right. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you. Right. Okay, so I felt that it kind of is, the color is kind of neutral, so it would go perfectly with our background. Right? So, although normally you would not relate that to like an Amazon kind of coloring, but since, you know, the sloth somehow, especially like his smile over here, right? So it's kind of fun, right? So I feel that the vibe that this sloth is giving out is, works with the background that we have over here, right? So thank you so much again, my friends, for joining us, whether you're good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. Okay, so wherever you are, okay, in the world. Okay, so let's have a friend with Mr. Sloth. Okay, so let's have a dragonfly. You know that this is a dragonfly, right, my friends? All right, so I do want to, do a little bit of a layering, and then let's put a little bit of, this feathers, okay, and tuck it in, somewhere. All right, so let's grab a little bit of those feathers. Okay. Okay, and then we can layer this and then tuck it in onto our cloth, our focal point, and then we will just add in some sentiments later, right? So we can put it like that. Okay, and then put in another. Okay, this. Okay, so these are feathers. Okay, that came with, okay, like cut apart, okay, from this collection. All right, so instead of flowers, okay, so we do have that one. Okay, and then we will just put in our sentiment over there. Okay, and then we will call it done. All right, so I just now need to look for a sentiment that would be perfect for our sloth over. All right, so maybe, okay, so on top of our this brown one. All right, and over there, and then dragonfly over there. So there you go. So you have a little bit of layering as well. All right, so that's what it's gonna look like. Nothing is set, so to speak, because I have not attached anything just yet, because I now have to look for, okay, a perfect sentiment, okay, to go with this one. Okay, let me see. Okay, with something info in it. Okay, let me see. Okay. Her spirit is like a wall. Being an adult is like folding. Okay, I'm working with this one. This is from Art by Marlin. Okay, it's a sticker sheet of all coats, right? So I speak fluent wine. Boom shakala. Okay, be brave. Okay, so she gazed at the moon and counted the stars. Take care of your soul. Humble beginnings. Be a fountain, not a drain. I think I like that because this is like a very positive, kind of feel card, right? So I feel that this sentiment is going to be perfect, right? So we're going to put that. All right, so now we're going to put it together. Okay. Okay, so how do you actually, create your layouts, friends? In my case, I just go with the flow, right? So, but I do like layers. I do love layering. I love depth and dimension. I love textures. It's just that sometimes I get overwhelmed, right? It's like I want to do so many things all at the same time that I get overwhelmed by all the things, right? So okay, it's like that. Okay, I gotta remember what that, because they're, yeah, right. So it's double sided. So I just have to remember which side I want to, kind of lift it. Okay, because by lifting it somehow, the additional depth, okay, helps. in making it stand out a little bit more, especially in a background like this where it is kind of busy, right? So many things going on. That's why I wanted him to be a little bit neutral, because everything else seems to be very colorful, right? So in that way, since he's the kind of different one, so he stands out because really he's my focal point, right? So that's the way I do my cards. I always have like a focal point, a sentiment, and of course, if I can, put layering onto it, I would. All right. So there, of course, we want to have it have the feel that it's, somehow grounded. But I'm gonna put that down first, as I need to tuck this in first, okay, before I actually put him down like so. All right. Okay, and then put in my dragonfly. So since he's going, okay, this is going this way, so I want to, my dragonfly to be going a different way, right? So that foam tape that is a strip, so I can put a strip onto my dragonfly like so. I will only put an adhesive onto its, spine, so that I can have a little bit of, I can pull in his, okay, like that, kind of like that. And then eventually, if, okay, close your eyes as I will cut off that little, because it's the end of the card. Okay, there you go. And then, okay, the last part will be to put in our sentiment. Okay, and then that is it. We are going to call this done. Okay, hold on. Okay, because I think I need to hold this. Okay, so this needs a little, because it's too flimsy. It does need a background, so I will do it like so. Okay, and I will be cutting it apart. Okay, okay, and there you go. So that I can have, okay, so this time I can already layer it. Okay, like so. Okay, I'm out of frame. I'm sorry. All right, so let's put this. Okay, let's put you back down over here. All right, so this is our first card. Be a fountain and not a drain. Shannon! All right, so let's just go grab a card base. Okay. Okay. All right. And we are calling this done. Okay, and we are putting in my stamp. Okay. Okay. Handmade by yours truly. There you go. One card down. That's so cute, right? All right, let's move on to a next card. Okay. But first, let us check the chat. So how are you guys in the chat? All right, so okay, I have the stream playing in the background, said my daughter. Okay, so Yvette, okay, said Queen Bee, I'm 100 perfect California lady, born and raised here. Majority of others come from other parts of the U.S., but really Queen Bee is from California through and through. Thank you so much, Laurie. Guys, Sammy is my moderator daughter. Yes. Okay, so there you go. Yes, that one. And okay, Tita Zell saying hi, Sammy. I'm giving a geography lesson. All right, I think I went through this. Okay. California is so big that it is almost has to be divided into 3 sections. And Yvette, on the other hand, born and raised in San Diego. Awesome. So we have from the West Coast. Anybody from the East Coast? I know we have Europe represented by Marcus earlier on, right? And of course, the UK, okay, with Stacy, okay, is from there. All right, okay, so next one. Okay, so the thing is we want to smash all the stamps. So we did this. Okay, so we've used this one. And then we have used this one. So we're down. Okay, 2 down. All right, so how many more do we need to do? Okay, so this and only 4. Isn't it 5? Am I missing a stamp? Oh, this one. This one. Okay, so let's see. Okay, how am I gonna use this one? This could be a great background stamp, right? Yes. Okay, so let's use this as a background stamp. Okay, right? Look at that, my friends. It's so white. I don't think I want to touch it. It's a cling stamp. It's from Carabel Studio. I'm not sure if it's still around. Okay, but it is a wonderful, wonderful stamp. That's why I bought it and I got it. Now I just need to look for my watercolor paper. Oh, okay, there you go. I placed it over here. All right, so there you go. All right, so and then we will use our again sticky mat. All right, let's move that. Okay, I am actually using, you know what, we should use the smooth part of the watercolor. There you go. Sorry about my hands. It's now really inky. You know, when you do mixed media, your hands are really gonna be inky. All right, so it's a cling stamp. It's a rubber cling stamp, so you just have to remove that, right? Okay, so normally after you've used that, you don't need to put it back again. All right, so and then I'm going to put it like so, and then I'm gonna pick it up. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Okay, because it's kind of, what do you call that? Chunky. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully, okay, I won't mess it up. Okay, but since, am I gonna watercolor here? What do I want to do with it? Okay, it's hard to actually, yeah. What do I want to do with this? If I color it, but it's watercolor paper. So maybe, okay, let's not use a watercolor paper, so we can, no. I'm thinking, friends, I'm gonna do this. If I want to color it in, okay, so might as well use, do I use a memento? Okay, here goes nothing. Let's see. All right, because I might color in, you know, the in-between. This one, but we'll still want to do a little bit of mixed media and stuff. So let's still use the watercolor paper. Let's see. Let's just, you know, see where this takes us. All right, so. Okay. Oh, where did I really put my, up to now, this is like the 5th day that I have not been able to use my, what do you call that? A whiteboard eraser. Oh, you see that? Okay, let's see. If this fails, we have tried, we will do it again, but this time with, you know, my regular paper. Okay. See, I have very weak hands, my friends, so that's the thing. Okay, and I'm not loving the look of this one. So let me see. I'm really trying to look for where that thing is. Okay, this is a wide stamp. Okay. Okay, I'm really not liking this one. So we are going to put that away. Okay, and we're transitioning to so we are going to transition to a different paper. All right. Okay, and then ay kamote. Sorry guys. All right. So and then we will try again. Okay, so changing. Okay, my paper. This is a very beautiful stamp. I need to give justice. Maybe a wider. This is still memento, but the wider one. Okay, so maybe I need to use the wider one so I can ink it faster and better. Okay. Hopefully this works. All right. All right. Okay. We will just take our sweet time. All right. So at least we did one. So probably be doing 2 or 3. Depends if we can. Yeah, I definitely can't fit the other stamp onto here. So probably 3. Oh, that's cool. All right. I like that. Okay. For fear of, since this is, thick, if I go back onto that, I might actually end up having ghost prints and stuff. So I will just have to be okay with the imperfections. Anyway, this is, kind of have mixed media kind of feels, right? So I have to be okay with that. Wow, look at, in fairness, it cleans beautifully. Okay, not absolutely perfect, but it's not so bad for a white, for a white stamp. Okay, that cleaned well. All right, so let's go that one over there. All right, so let's move on to the next thing that we want to do with this one. All right, so we did ink it like so. Okay, so I already chose a paper that has like subtle, all right, markings on it. All right, so remember we do have another stamp, and this is that one, which is kind of perfect, right? So you have the lines, and then you have the subtle big circles onto it. So we can get this one. So all right, slowly removing that. This is from 49th and Market. It's called Going in Circles by Gabrielle Polaka. Polaka. I hope I'm saying her name properly. Okay, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, my friend. Okay, apologies. All right, so there you go. So we will add, a little bit more of additional circles. Okay, there on that side. Okay, and then we will do another on the other side so that they don't look, similar. Okay, those circles. Okay, so let's put it over here on the sides. Okay, over there. Right, so you can still basically see almost all of the different what do you call that, texture or elements, but in a not too perfect, not perfectly, just subtle kind of prints here and there. There you go. So we smashed that. Okay, 2 stamps again from this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean it, friends. Okay, like so. All right, so as I said, clean as you go if you can, right? So that, okay, you can prevent like, what do you call that? Staining. Okay, so sometimes it's still gonna stain, right? So I'm gonna clean the sides, okay, of my sticky mat. All right, so let us take a look a little bit. Okay, so how do you like the messiness of this? All right, so it's super, super kind of messy, and I actually like it that way. I like it that way. And now we are going to look for, okay, so how about, okay, a little bit of texture because it's very flat, right? So let me get some stencils. Where are my stencils? All right, so let's go through some stencils that, oh yeah, let's use the one from, okay, yeah, that's the one I was supposed to show you. Remember I showed you this, so this art by Marlin. Okay, this was an advent calendar. It's all stencils I did last December. So this is day 3. So the day 1 is basically the unboxing because it came with like a metal tin can. That's day 1. This is 2 up to the 25th, right? So this is what it looks like. I've already done, okay, like a swatch of whatever is there. So this is what day 2 looks like. It's all stencil. This is day 3. This is 4. This is 5. 6. This is 7. This is 8. This is 9. This is 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. Day 18. Day 19. Day 20. Oh, that's not day 20. There's day 20. There's day 21, 22, 23, 24, and, 25. All right. So based on that one, what do I want to use as a stencil to add a little bit of a texture to our card? Okay. So I feel that we already have a very, very busy background. So I just want like subtle markings, and I feel that I would love to put, okay, either that, no, I think it's too busy still. I think this one. Okay, so this is the one I'm gonna put. So that is day 7. So I'm going to pick up day number 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you want to see the advent calendar series from last year, that's Vlogmas. So on my playlist, you can look up at Vlogmas 2024 and you will see me work with this. So I did this for my Vlogmas and the spellbinders, right? So if you want to check out some of the advent calendar series from last year, Yvette in the chat, of course, did an advent calendar series of 3. Caroline as well, My Crafty Adventures, Shanna of Shanna Makes It, of course, Alicia, okay, what do they call this, Crafty Al, okay, did that as well, and of course Lynn also, so many others in the community. All right, so I will be using a texture paste. Okay, so for the interest of time, I will no longer color this in. Is this new? Is this brand new? No. It's not brand new, friends. It's already open. Yikes! It's stuck to my finger. Wow. Look at that, friends. Yee. Okay, so that is, how mixed media is. Okay, so let's just put it back at inside the bottle. Okay. There you go. And easily, you know, wipe off. Okay, my hands are all inky. Okay, and that is absolutely fine. All right. So let us, put a little bit of, texture, okay, onto, okay, our card. Okay. And so for this one, okay, I just want, because everything is flat, right? So I just want to put a little bit. Okay, so that's on that one, and it's just white. Okay, so you would see Zell and Wims would sometimes add color to this using maybe magicals, or other, okay, kind of like pigments and other stuff. There you go. Okay, and of course, I will try to clean it as much as I can and then throw it into a bucket of water. Again, that is texture paste. So don't leave it, okay, onto your stencils, because sometimes it may not, once it's stuck there, it's difficult to remove it. Okay, so this one, okay, I will just lift a little bit because I need to clean my sticky mat and remove those texture paste ASAP before they dry up on my sticky mat and ruin actually my sticky mat. All right, so now let us, okay, heat, okay, this one, okay, so that it will dry before we do the next part. Okay, and that is to put our focal point and then put in our sentiment, blingify if we want to, okay, and then, okay, put it on the card base. Did I say sentiment already? I don't remember. All right, so there you go. Okay, so when you put a little bit of, it becomes thick, it's harder to dry. It takes longer to dry. Okay, and if you want to like spritz it with a little bit more of like color, you can do so. Do I want to do that? Okay, let me see. What can I use over there? Okay, maybe we can. All right, so let us see. Okay, so we can cut a little bit of this part. Okay, and we'll do it like that. Okay, so now let's go and look for a focal point. As I said, right, so since we really don't have a plan, what we're gonna make, what we're gonna do, so I have no idea what my focal point is going to be. All right, okay, so this one is like a window. Okay, do I want to put, or is it gonna be a door? Or is it gonna be this dainty window? Let's try, The only way to see which one I want is to actually cut it. Remember, no dies. No dies for today. Actually, I'm okay with that because I think I've not used dies that much. Okay, unless it was the episode where we actually featured, our cutting dies. Oh my goodness. Guys, have you heard? Right? That Sizzix is coming up with, okay, an update onto the Big Shot. All right, so I'm super, super duper excited for it. Okay, they have actually already, released some teasers on their website. And if you have watched my Craft Everyday in August, yes, I know I have a lot of paper trimmers already, so I probably don't need it anymore. But you know how it is? It's like that new shiny new shiny object syndrome kind of thing, right? So it's like, ooh, interesting, right? So, and probably I could work with that. All right. Or could it be this one? Okay, but it does have a flower. Then I'm going to have a difficulty with that one. Or maybe let's try this one. I'm not sure if this is Stamperia still or... Yeah, I think this is still Stamperia. Right, so... Alright, so there you go. Okay, so I'm just testing things out, friends. So which one I feel kind of looks better? Or this one. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna go and look for additional stuff. What could I put over there as my focal point? Let me okay. Okay, how about adding this? Yes, for those who are like, I do like fussy cutting, my friends, right? So fussy cutting is what you do when you want to like cut out the image, okay, with just, your scissors, okay? So fuzzy cutting can be, can be as intricate as really going towards the actual outline of the image of your cutting, or you can put a little bit or a bigger border onto it. Again, it basically depends on the look you want. Okay, in my case, I do want, if ever I do have like a white border like what I'm doing now, I normally want it very, very small. I don't want big like white or borders onto my image. Again, is that the right thing to do? No, it's a preference, my friend. It's just a preference, right? So one thing that if you want, okay, let's say you don't want to fuzzy cut. Okay, so most of our favorite manufacturers, they do come up with like not too shabby. They come up with coordinating ephemera packs, okay, which already like fussy cut somehow. Now, if you want to trim off the edges a little bit more, you can, but at least it's more or less already fussy cut, so you don't need to do this, right? Because fussy cutting, some people like me love it, and then there are friends of ours who are somewhat no thanks, right? Okay, but yes, to each his own, right? So some of our friends love watercolor and coloring so much, and that's something like I'm super, averse with, right? So something like that, right? So I can make it like so, and then put like this one onto this one, okay, and then I will put my my sentiment like over there, but we can put a little bit more of inserts, okay, onto that one. I'm just looking for what I can put onto that one, right? So I am looking for things I can like tuck in, like look at this, like flowers, right? So I can like fuzzy cut this and tuck this in, okay, in between here and there, right? So okay. Hi, Wims! Mirai sleep now. I do can craft along with you. I wish I have those kinds. Oh, I'm sure, Wims, when you will do an amazing thing with these stamps, and also Zell. All right. So, I'm going in and out again. My. Okay. M2. Okay, hold on, friends. My daughter is asking. It's a refurbished. It's the best that I can do for now. But it's the best you can. So what? Yeah. All right. Say thank you. Okay. Better than none, you say, right? Anyways, because my daughter needs an upgrade on her, because she's doing her thesis, right? So it's her last year in university, and she needs a more powerful computer than what she has right now. And you know how it is, the LCD of her laptop monitor is like, a blinking like so fast that there was a time where she actually started to have headaches, and the doctor told me that that can actually is bad because it can trigger an somehow like an epileptic attack or some sort of thing like that. So I got scared, so I said okay, so we're looking into some units that um better than what she has right now, but we can't do the one that is really what she wanted because it's so expensive, right? But we're looking at, oh, here's something fell. All right, I hope that my nan is okay, because we are actually working on we're doing some shampoo bars, right? So another thing that I do, my friends, yes, I do handmade artisanal stuff, and I have orders for one of my best sellers. Okay, it's a green tea shampoo bar. Okay, because she's going to the US and she is bringing it as like a pasalubong of some sort. All right, so let me see how I want to do this. Okay, so maybe something like, I want to hide that one. You know what, we can turn this into like two, right? So we can put it like that over there. Anyway, it won't show, right? And we can put the other one. Okay, we will cut off this part. And we will tuck that in. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. You know what? I will separate them because it's giving me giving me a hard time to try to tuck it in. There you go. See, it's easier if I separate them. Now I can tuck it in like so and layer it. Okay, and put it at the. There you go. That is better. All right. Okay. Okay, do I want some leaves? Do I have leaves? Not much of a leaf. Everything is like flower. Let me see. I think I like this tiny bud of the flower. Okay, and then we will just assemble and we will call it done. Right? So if you want, if you are working along with us and you want me to showcase your work, okay, you can submit it on my Discord server. Okay, so for now, Discord server's access is for members only, but I am going to, give out some free memberships starting tomorrow. So if you want access to that one, please be here tomorrow if you want to get the opportunity to get it free. All right, so it's just that I wasn't able to make it work today. I forgot how. I will ask my dear friend Marcus how actually it is to be done. All right, so there you go. Let's start putting it together. Okay, and then we will call this card number 2 done. All right, so that is how easy it is. Again, the prompt for today is just use any stamp that you have not used. Okay, so it's very easy. No specific parameter. It should be like this, like that. No, just something that you have not used. But the thing is, you cannot use any. You cannot use any cutting dice to put your card together. Okay, so no kind of shortcut, so to speak. So you have to do it from scratch. Okay, oh, where? Okay. I was looking for my foam, you know, double-sided tape. I said I couldn't find it. Okay, it actually fell on the floor. That's why I couldn't find it. Things like this before, my friend, would make me go crazy, right? If it's like both sides are beautiful, I can't. I cannot do that. And so that's how I started ending up with so much stash, from paper to stamps to stuff, right? So they're so pretty to actually use, right? So it's like I have the tendency to just, okay, I love organizing, I love looking at pretty things, right? So, but, more than that is to actually, get to use them onto a specific product, which for the life of me, okay, took me almost more than 2 decades to realize that, you know what, every year manufacturers will come up with, new designs that we will definitely, absolutely fall in love with again, right? And so if we don't start using, our stash, well, we need another house, okay? Not just a room, we probably need, another house to put our stash in. And so I realized, no, I really need to just close my eyes, okay, and just use it, okay? There will always be newer, nicer products that will get released, okay? And so this is it. But it's not yet done because we need to have a sentiment, right? All right, so let's go back to, again, this is an art by Marlin, okay, sticker sheets quotes book. All right. So you can always stamp something, right? So I do have like a lot of pre-stamped sentiments, but today I'm going to be using this one. All right. So sorry, not sorry. If only when you get to have a new beginning, don't repeat old mistakes. Ooh. I've learned so much from mistakes, but it does have to look like this one. Okay, maybe this one. I like this one. Okay. It says, enjoy life. It is not a rehearsal. It's the real thing. I like that. So I'm just going to cut that because it's way too big. All right. So, and then we will put it, okay, somewhere. Okay. Okay. So I still want that window to be seen. So I will just put it here onto, okay, there. Enjoy life. It's not a rehearsal. The real thing. There you go. And I think it's a little lopsided, but it's fine. So this is card number 2. All right. So for those who are coming in, where did you put card number 1? All right, let me see. All right, so this was card number 1. Okay, so we used that stamp set from Diane Wakely, and then another one from Bo Bunny, and this one we used from Carabelle and 49th and Market. All right, so far, okay, yes, everything was fuzzy cut. Okay, so we didn't use any dies to actually cut all of the elements that we have. All right, so our final stamp is going to be another one from Carabelle, and this is it. Okay, so but before we do that, let me just go back to the chat and check, okay, because somehow when I'm working, right, so I kind of, not intentionally, but, like focus a little bit because I cannot do like more than 3 things all at the same time. And Stacy said her daughter has just started university. Awesome! Kakatulog din lang ni Mira. Exactly, right, Wims? Si Zell also wanted to join today, okay, because he's following me everywhere. But that's fine. You will miss that, Zell and Wims, when they are older. Have you used it all? Are you not using your art by? Have you used? No, I have not. Oh, in terms of stamps, I don't have stamps by Art and Marlin. By Art by Marlin. Okay, Vicky. Yes, if you do need to rest, you need to eat, you need to lie down, please do so, right? You are still recovering, my friend. All right. Nice, Sammy. Get a gaming laptop. I'm sure she would get one if her mom can afford the specs that she wants. Oh my gosh, right? So, yes, Yvette said the flashing lights can cause epileptic attacks, can also trigger migraines. And I think that started her migraine. And so, when we went to the doctor, she asked about what time do you sleep, how do you work, and so, and then she figured out, okay, that could be the one that's triggering it, so stop using that. All right, so she stopped using that. That's why I need to buy her a new laptop. Yes, Janet. Hello, hello. Raining here in Elborn, California. Good time for crafting. Yes, I heard, right? Since yesterday it's been raining. Most of the time, every time I go to the US and I go to the West Coast to California, normally you would have like year or months of no rain, but every time I go there is rain. So maybe I'm a rainmaker. Thank you, my friends. Love it at Zell. Oh, thank you. When Zell and Wims like something like this that I do, I'm so really, giddy with happiness because, they are my I look up to them when it comes to like this kinds of cards. Thank you. Two great cards. I'm going through mountains, so I'm buffering. Have a good day. Oh, you're traveling, Laurie. All right, thank you so much, my friend. No, you art by Marlene die cut. I don't have die cuts. Oh yes, I have. You know what? Thank you, Zell. She reminded me. Right for my focal points. Yes, I do have this. Right? I forgot. Why was I using Stamperia? I could actually use all of these. I still have a lot. Right? So, I could have used this ones. And I have the double XL one, right? So many awesome things you can use for focal points. Thank you, Zell. See? I actually have them here. I just forgot. They got, covered by all the stuff. Yes, you do need the rain, right? Because we don't want those, forest fires happening. Yes, a few months ago, right? That was super bad. Yes, thank you, Stacy. Have a great rest of the day. Right, so please do check out Stacy if you have time. I thought ubus mo na. Asa pa? It's gonna take me a lifetime to finish that. Okay, hopefully when both of you are not so busy anymore, right, we can meet up again and then, use more. All right, so let's use that for this one. Okay, but this one is kind of very busy as it is, so I'm not sure if I can use any of those for this. All right, this is another Carabelle. All right, so let's see. Okay, so I think for this one, I really cannot use a that one. Okay, I just need to make sure that yes, we're gonna use this what do you call that, friends? I will use my washi tapes. Yes, I will use my washi tapes. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is to have a little bit of kind of a texture. Okay, so this is a paper that I have. This is from Vicky Botin. Okay, so this is a 12 by 12 paper that I've cut into 4 by what? This is 4 by 5, I think. Right? So it initially came as a 12 by 12. Okay, so okay. Anyways, I will just stamp the middle part of it like so. Okay, because this is a very thick one, and if I put in my what do you call that, sticky mat, okay, it is not gonna stamp perfectly because now where is the color? Okay, this is the one I'm using right now is a stamping platform from Out in You. Okay, this is called a stamp wheel, and this is the first release, the oldest version They do have a bigger one. Okay, the version 2.0, I think is what they call it. I'm not sure. Don't quote me uh, for that. Okay, but I think I remember Anne Merit saying it is that. Okay, so anyways, all right. So look at how beautiful. Okay, this one is. Okay. You could have, made your background first before you do this one. But for the interest of time, I have been the whole day driving. And then when I arrived, I started to prepare the shampoo bars. Okay, the shampoo bars are going to be picked up tomorrow. And so when I needed to go here to start, I asked my nanny to continue doing it because, after the shampoo bar, then we have to put it in a mold. Okay, and then you will make it harden a little bit and then you will push it out. Okay, and then after that, I will do the packaging. So it's going to be a long day still, my friends. Right, so because it's the start of the kind of holiday season. So people are starting to prepare, okay, for their gift giving, right? So I don't know if you can see my table moving as I'm doing this. All right. So there it is. It's kind of wonky. Okay. It is, but it's okay. All right. Oh, there, it's better now because it was the first time this was used, right? So, all right. Okay, so this is going to be it's going to be the background, so to speak, right? So, one more card. I think I want to finish a card before you end your lives and you're on card 3 already. It's okay, Wims. Okay, because tomorrow, okay, it's going to be, a better day because I'm not going out. So I'll have more energy. I'll have more time to actually work longer, as today has just been a very, very tiring day. Like most of the time we end at noon. Right? But now it's only 10:56. But I'm so ready to really, rest today. Because, Friday, anywhere you go, I don't know where you are. If it's like Wednesdays, Fridays, Mondays, I don't know what is with these days. But it seems like everybody wants to go somewhere, right? During these days. So but then I really needed to buy some supplies for my orders. All right, so I think that is it. Okay, anyway, it doesn't have to be truly, truly perfect, as this is going to be somehow, have a kind of a mixed media kind of feels. Right, so I kind of cheated by using a card that is somehow has already been pre-inked. Okay, if you can see that one, it has already marks, right? So that is actually paper from Vicky Butin, part of her 12 by 12 paper pad. If you could see that, very subtle ones. And then I just added the stamp, okay, from Carabelle. Okay, and now I'm just going to clean it, okay, a little bit. So you know how why in the world did they think of making it white? Just a question. You know how it is, like, oh my gosh, how do you keep a white stamp white? Right, so it's like, okay, I will try. Okay, I will clean this further later, but for now, all right, so this is okay what we have. So what do we do with this one? Okay, so this one, okay, I think we'll just have to be okay. So Zell and Wims reminded me of my Art by Marlin. Okay, what do you call this? Um, yes, card parts, ephemera packs. So might as well kind of use this. Okay, okay. Let me see again the look. All right, but somehow I don't think anything will fit to this one or with that one. Okay, but we will see. Okay, we will see. We will try. Okay, make it whimsical. Okay, from something that looks like vintage, retro, right? So we will turn it into something, kind of different. Okay. Okay, there you go, right? See? See? All right. Okay, and then we will have true beauty. All right. That was so easy. That is super fast. Unbelievable. Right? It's just all came from this page. All right, so let me pull that out so I can show you and I can put away the rest, right? And then I would just, pick and choose some of the elements here that I would layer in so that, it would look really nice. Okay, so I like it, complements her hair. Okay, let's see how we're gonna put this together. Okay, how cool is that? Okay, I'm just pulling out all the mini elements from this page, but that came like so fast. When you see something and it's like, yes, that is it, that is what I need. Okay, so that basically is what happened here. It's like, okay, that is perfect. Okay, you are the one I need. All right, so she's a girl, all the elements of kind of girl with a being her own, right? Being comfortable with who she is, right? Thus, I said, perfect, true beauty, right? And then we will put in as a background, some of, this. Okay, let me see if I want it to be there. We call Jana. Okay, a dear friend Jana would call this, what would you call that? Auditioning. Yes, auditioning your. Okay, but of course we don't want to cover up all the, the elements of our background. Okay, but I like that because it somehow complements her eyes, right? But at the same time, I still want to have, layers of different bits and pieces. Okay, maybe we'll put that. Or maybe I would put that onto her head. Okay, how's that, friends? Okay. Is it too much? It's just like I like, layering and putting in stuff. There you go. There. Okay, I'll call it done. Okay, that's it. All right, and then I'll just put back this I wasn't able to use. All right, so let's put it together. Okay, so let's put her in first because I want to do a lot of inserting. I will just only stick the middle part of her so that I can put, things, insert things, at the back. Okay, like so. Okay. Okay, like so. It's okay because you can always cut whatever is, extra. Okay. So, and then we can put in, okay, our flower like so. Okay, and then I think we did that. We tucked in the heart like that, right? Okay. Okay, and then this one was, I think, this. Okay, and then that. Okay, and then True Beauty would go like that. Alright. Okay, so let's put in our heart first. I like layering, things like this. All right. A True Beauty. Okay, and then we can layer that in. Okay, I mean the sentiment, we will, okay, lift it. A True Beauty. All right, so there you go. We will lift the sentiment. Okay, maybe just the beauty, we will just lay flat. Okay, I do love, depth and dimension and texture. Okay, maybe True Beauty like that, and then, or do I want it like that? With a heart like so. Yeah, I think I like that better. All right, so we will flatten this one, put it over there on the side, like so. Okay, and then tuck in our heart. Where do I put my heart? I wanted to put it here, over there. All right. Okay. Okay, so we can always cut a bit of that heart. All right, and then we will put this on her hair. Okay. Okay, so this one will be a little flat. Okay, and then this one we will raise a bit. Okay, with a low profile foam tape like so. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, there you go. True Beauty. Awesome. All right, so now we just need, okay, a card base. Add in. Okay. So let me see. I can find, okay, and then we will cut this. So probably 5. Okay. Right. Okay, something like that. All right, so we will, okay, instead of a white background, we're gonna do that. Yes, absolutely. We're gonna make it into a craft. Yay! We are done. Almost, my friends. Right, so thank you again, Wims and Zell, my inspiration actually for today's show. Why do I say that? Please do check out my dear friend's channel and you will see why. Because they are so good at creating cards that look like this, right? So mine is still a little bit structured, a little, but theirs, it's like there's so many things happening all at the same time. But when you look at it, it's very, cohesive. It still works, but when you try to focus on it, there's so many techniques and things that are happening onto that card, but they make it look seamless, so to speak. So these are the three cards that we created today, my dear friends. All right, hold on. Where did I put that? All right, so let's take another look. Our first card was this. Okay, so be a fountain, not a drain. I know he's a sloth, right? So he sometimes can be lazy and stuff, right? But yeah, so just a reminder, okay, that we need to look on, okay, the positive side of, people, right? So be a fountain, not a drain. All right, and then the next one is this one, right? So it is enjoy life. It is not a rehearsal. It is the real thing, right? That's like, look at these two birds, right? So very inspiring. And, despite the busy background, right? So they're fine, right? So that is basically the story. If there is a story behind the card, that would be mine. And of course, this one, right? So a very easy one. I just chose a background, but you can actually do this, okay, from scratch. Okay, if you want to see how that is done, you can achieve that by inking, ink smooshing, all right, and stuff like that. Okay, and then after that, I just added the background stamp. That is this beautiful, beautiful stamp, Carabelle. All right, and then just added my focal point. Okay, this girl from Art by Marlin, and all the other elements came from the Art by Marlin Double XL Essentials. Okay, the Golden Oldie Collector's Book. All right, so that is the three cards, and I'm so grateful that you guys are here. It's a Friday for most of you, right? Yes, I didn't go mute today, but anyway, thank you so much for always telling me if I am mute. And of course, please, sharing is caring, so please do share if you have time. And yes, please hit that notification bell, because if you do so, whenever I have a new shorts or a live stream or an edited video, you definitely will get a notification. But if you don't want to get notifications, then don't hit this. And of course, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I do have a lot of content on my channel, so hopefully you can find something or a playlist that you absolutely love. Yeah, so we are doing Stash-tember once again. And okay, hold on. So for tomorrow, it is going to be day number 20. Okay, and we are going to do mask magic. So we need to create a scene with masking, using again an unused stamp that you have, right? So hopefully at the end of Stash-tember, I will hopefully have used all of the stamps, okay, that I have not used. All right, so again, thank you so much, my friends, right? So let me just go check at the chat. Okay, this has been a very long week. Yes, indeed, right? Okay, do you like that stamp wheel better than Misty? When it comes to like chunky stamps and bigger stamps, yes, Zell, because it has more like wiggle room. It's more forgiving because a Misty has a door, right? So sometimes it's not even, like this is going to be squished, this one's not. So I feel that the stamp wheel is a better one for like the things that we do. But for very tiny ones, I feel that the Misty is better, right? So I agree, Yvette. How many GSM is that? Which one? Sorry, Zell. Which one is it? The watercolor? Perfect match, right, Zell? Thank you, Vicky. Thank thank you, my friends. Thank you so much, Crystal. I know you're at work, but you're still, putting me on the background. Okay, thank you so much, my friends. Have a great weekend. Yes, please do watch. Vicky has a new video up, right, friends? Okay, and then see you tomorrow. Yes, see you tomorrow, my dear friends. Have a great rest of, the Vicky Butin one. I think it's kind of thick. I think maybe about 270. Definitely not a 300, but definitely more than 200 GSM. So it's okay for mixed media, definitely. All right. So with that, thank you so much, Zell, Wims, Vicky, Crystal, Yvette. Who else was here earlier on? Of course, we have Crystal, Barbara, Janet, Lori, Stacy. All right. So hopefully I didn't miss anybody who was actually in the chat. But for those who are just lurking, drop by. Thank you so much. And see you again tomorrow for another crafty session for Stash-tember here at Mommy Guide Inc. Bye, friends.